smell of bleach and freshly mopped floors filled the silent lobby of Halden Industries that morning. The sun poured through the glass panels, catching the faint reflection of a man in a faded blue janitor uniform pushing his mop in quiet rhythm. His name was Ely Turner, a 38-year-old single dad with tired eyes, calloused hands, and a heart that had learned to find beauty in small moments, like his daughter's laugh before school or the sunrise that glowed over the company's polished floors before anyone else arrived. What no one knew was that the man sweeping those halls once wrote algorithms for companies now worth billions. If you believe in second chances, kindness, and the power of never giving up, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Journal. Your support helps us share stories that restore faith in humanity every single day. For 5 years, Ely had worked as a janitor at Halden Industries, one of the biggest tech companies in the state. Every day he arrived before dawn, cleaned the labs and offices, and left after sunset. He barely made enough to keep his daughter Sophie fed and in school. Still, he smiled. He always told her, "We might not have much, kiddo, but we have each other, and that's enough." But behind that smile was a story few could imagine. Ely used to be a software engineer, a gifted one. He had once led a small startup that built predictive software. But when his wife Hannah was diagnosed with leukemia, he sold everything to pay for her treatment. She didn't survive, and the medical bills swallowed everything they had. He never recovered his career after that. No company wanted a man with a 5-year employment gap and a broken resume. The only job he could find was cleaning offices, so he took it without complaint. It was on an ordinary Tuesday morning that fate decided to rewrite Ely's story. Halden Industries was in chaos that day. The company's flagship AI platform, the 100 million project called Atlas, had suddenly crashed. The entire engineering department was under pressure. Deadlines loomed, clients waited, and every passing hour cost the company thousands. The CEO, Ariana Vale, was a woman known for her brilliance and intensity. She had built the company from scratch, and failure wasn't in her vocabulary. But that morning, even she was on the verge of breaking. Her top engineers couldn't find the source of the problem. The AI's core module was corrupting itself, and no one could explain why. Ely overheard bits of conversation as he cleaned near the glass conference room. He didn't mean to listen. But when you've been around code your whole life, certain words pull you in like gravity. Recursive loop memory overflow, unstable training data. He froze mid-mop. That sounded familiar. Too familiar. He remembered encountering that same issue years ago when he wrote a similar algorithm. For the rest of his shift, Ely couldn't shake the thought. His mind raced as he swept the hallways. He knew he could help. But how could a janitor just walk into a CEO's meeting and say, "Hey, I think I can fix your $100 million system"? They'd laugh him out of the building. Yet as he passed the break room, he saw something that gave him the courage to try, a picture of Ariana Vale giving a motivational talk. The quote printed beneath it read, "Brilliance can come from anywhere." At lunch, while everyone was panicking in the offices upstairs, Ely sat quietly with his old notepad, the one he used to sketch code ideas before life fell apart. He scribbled lines of logic, ran them through his mind like an old song, and suddenly, the answer appeared clean and simple. It wasn't a hardware failure. It wasn't even a code corruption. It was a logic redundancy, a recursive feedback loop caused by an outdated memory mapping protocol. In plain English, the system was eating itself because it didn't know when to stop learning. The fix was ridiculously simple. By the time he realized it, Ely's hands were trembling. He had just solved the problem that dozens of top engineers couldn't crack, on his lunch break, with a pen that barely worked. That afternoon, fate nudged him again. As he was emptying trash bins in the executive floor, he saw Ariana storm out of the server lab, frustration written all over her face. The CTO trailed behind, looking defeated. Ely's heart pounded. Before he could talk himself out of it, he took a deep breath and said quietly, I think I might know what's wrong with the system." The hallway went silent. The CTO raised an eyebrow, smirking. "You're the janitor, right?" "I don't think." But Ariana lifted a hand to stop him. Something in Ely's tone, calm, sincere, and almost trembling, made her pause. "What did you say?" she asked. I overheard some of the engineers talking earlier," he stammered. "About the recursive overflow. I've seen that issue before. I think the AI's training memory isn't capped. It's running itself into a feedback loop. For a moment, no one spoke. The CTO looked incredulous, but Ariana, sharp as ever, didn't dismiss him. "Follow me," she said finally. "Show me what you mean." Ali hesitated. "Mum, I'm not authorized." "You are now," Ariana replied. They walked into the lab together. The room fell silent when the janitor entered with the CEO. Engineers exchanged confused looks. Ariana motioned toward a workstation. "Go ahead," she said. Eli sat down, his hands slightly shaking. He typed for a few minutes, explaining as he went. "Here, the AI keeps refeeding its own predictions into its dataset. It's like trying to learn from its own mistakes infinitely. The fix is to add a memory limiter, a stop condition." He wrote a short line of code, pressed enter, and the system froze for a moment, then stabilized. Lines of error logs vanished. The server stopped overheating. The AI dashboard flashed green for the first time in weeks. Silence filled the room. Then someone gasped. "He fixed it," whispered one of the engineers. Ariana stared at the screen, then at Eli. "How did you know?" she asked softly. Eli gave a small, tired smile. "Because I once built something that broke the same way," he said quietly. "And I never forgot how it felt to fix it." By the end of that hour, the entire company knew. The janitor had solved the $100 million problem. Engineers applauded him in the hallway. Managers looked stunned. The CTO, red-faced but humbled, shook his hand. Ariana called an emergency board meeting that evening, and she insisted Eli attend. In that meeting, she revealed what happened and played the server log showing Eli's fix in real time. "This man saved us from losing millions," she said. "He saw what no one else did, and from today, he is no longer our janitor." She turned to Eli with a warm, almost emotional smile. "Mr. Turner, how would you like to join our software division?" Eli was speechless. His throat tightened. For years, he dreamed of being back in that world, but never thought it possible. "Mom, I don't know what to say." "Say yes," Ariana said gently, and he did. Within a month, Eli was working as a senior systems architect at Halden Industries. He went from scrubbing floors to leading innovation meetings. The same people who once ignored him now sought his advice. But he never changed. He still greeted the night janitors with a smile, still picked up trash others ignored, and still wore humility like his favorite shirt. One day, Ariana called him into her office. "Eli," she said, "I've read your old research, the predictive software you built years ago. It's brilliant. I want to fund it. Halden will invest in you, not just as an employee, but as a partner." Tears filled his eyes. "No one's ever said that to me before." "Then I'll be the first," she said. "You earned this." That evening, Eli walked out of the building with Sophie, now 10 years old, who had come to visit. She held his hand and looked up at the glowing company logo. "Dad," she said, "you're really one of them now." He smiled, eyes misty. "No, sweetheart," he whispered. "I'm still me. I just got a second chance." They stood in the fading daylight, hand in hand, as the wind rustled through the company's flag above them. In that moment, the janitor who once mopped floors beneath others' success had built a foundation of his own, one made not of money or pride, but of faith, resilience, and kindness. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. We share true and inspiring stories that prove good people still exist, and sometimes the ones who shine the brightest are the ones no one sees coming. Special request: comment below what part of Ali's story inspired you the most. His courage, his humility, or his comeback. We'd love to hear your thoughts and share the kindness forward.